Okay, so let's talk about the new movie, The Last Voyage of the Demeter. The Last Voyage of the Demeter. I don't know, I'm saying like Bon Voyage. But anyways, let's talk about this movie. If it is a movie that is going to be a good trip or a bad trip, I mean, it's a bad trip regardless for everybody involved in this because Count Dracula is on this vessel and I assure you there will be a lot of blood. So before we get any further into it, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit that notification. We are on the road to 30,000 subscribers. We hit 28,000 and then for some reason YouTube wanted to bring us back, so we're below 28,000. So like I've said, we're still running that giveaway. All you have to do is be subscribed, comment below your favorite movie so far this year and your thoughts and opinions on this movie if you watched it. But let's get into The Last Voyage of the Demeter. So the film is based on a chapter from the novel Dracula, written by Bram Stoker, and basically this is a part in the novel called The Captain's Log, and you basically have this captain logging what happens on this final crusade that him and his fellow seamen go on, and basically what you see is Dracula pick them apart one by one. Now, I will say that this film really was not a film I had on my radar until just recently when I saw that they did some practical effects and stuff for that. And I'm always like a sucker for practical effects in movies nowadays because you don't really get to see that or really get to witness that. And this film really caught me off guard with how great it was when it came to that. But Andre Oberdal, who is here directing the film, did the movies The Autopsy of Jane Doe, which I have yet to see, but I do really want to get to see that, and Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Those are just some of the most recent ones that this film director has done. Now let me tell you, when it comes to the direction and everything of this movie, I thought it was great. The atmosphere building was amazing here. There's a lot of tension, and when it comes to some production values in some of these scenes, especially the ones that are more tied into the mythos of vampires and stuff like that, I really don't want to give spoilers here, but they were some of the most insane scenes I've seen in a vampire movie in a while, and really visceral at that. Now, the Dracula itself I thought was just great, and the menacing nature of it as well was something I was wondering what were we going to get here, right? A lot of times with vampire movies, I think you can either make your vampires really cool or you can make them really terrifying. When you try to do too much in between or mix it up a bit, it doesn't really come off as great. Here, it's very terrifying, and I thought that it was such a great design for it, set in the late 1800s as well. This is definitely one of those films that I think felt like a very, very early 2000s film, but in a good way, you know? We don't get many of these anymore, but overall, I really enjoyed much of this. I think the cast was great here as well. You have Corey Hawkins leading here, and I think that this is definitely a great look for Corey right now. I think that we hadn't really seen much of Corey leading as such in movies and all of that, and I think that we forget just how great of a leading man Corey Hawkins can be. So I'm excited if we get to see more of Corey in the future, and I'm definitely waiting to see more of that for sure. Overall, like I said, it is a movie that just takes place in the ship, and that can kind of lead to some pacing issues for me because there's a lot of moments in this movie that just feel the same repetitiveness that we saw in a couple of scenes ago, and it sort of feels like a chore at a time. It's like, okay, now we have to wait for daytime, okay, now we have to wait for nighttime, and it just goes back and forth like that. I think the movie would have been just really, really good if it just cut out maybe like 20 to 15 minutes of some of the things that it had, because some of the moments, like I said, it felt like we were going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, sort of like a chore. But I think that what really still kept me in the movie going was the cast. Like I said, they were a phenomenal cast. Everybody involved in this was just great. Everybody just played their part super well. Even Dracula themselves were just terrifying. And although you don't get much of Dracula in the beginning, once Dracula really does come out, it is very impactful. So I think that that was great of the movie to do so, is to sort of start teasing here and there. You see a hand, you see some teeth and all of that, and then you get the big reveal, which is just insane. Overall, I enjoyed the movie. I thought the tension was great. I thought the atmosphere was amazing, through the roof, honestly, and I'm very excited to see what they're going to do here. So they are looking to, it seems, expand this universe a little bit more, and I will get more into that on my ending explained tomorrow, because there's a lot of things happening here that make me wonder where exactly this is going to lead into. We know Universal's been trying to do their monsters for some time now, so we'll see if this is a great gateway into that, or if we're going to not get into it. But I think for a beginning story and all of that, and a different look at Dracula than what we've gotten in several years, this one's definitely hitting all the marks for me. It gave me good Dracula action. It gave me great atmosphere, very tense moments, some very classic gothic horror vibes to it as well in here, and just some of the narration as well, which is great. Really had you feeling like you were reading it from the book as well, which was something I was expecting, but didn't know how effective it would be. But in my opinion, it worked great for the movie, and I'm just excited to see where they want to go from this. But overall, like I said, great cast, great direction, great production value, practical effects, and all of that as well. Just a little minor issue with the pacing, like I said, at the beginning and sort of in the middle. But once it picked up, it really picked up, and it was just a great horror action film, and just one I really do think deserves all the praise, honestly, for starting something here. So we'll see what happens with it. Like I said, it is definitely one of those films that I think could be a great starting point in jumping into this whole universe that maybe Universal wants to do, and I'm definitely here open to see what that's going to be like. But like I said, we will have an NEX link tomorrow where we'll talk more about what is to come from this universe, if they are going to do one, and how exactly that would look with all of the other monsters as well, in my opinion. Some theories I'm going to throw out for you. But like I've said, we are on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We had reached it, and then YouTube brought us back down. But we are going full on ahead with it. Again, we're trying to get to 28,000, 30,000, and ultimately our end of year goal is 50,000. We're going to get there. We are going to get there for sure. So make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're commenting below all your thoughts and opinions. Follow us on all the other social medias, on Twitter, on TikTok, on Instagram, on our website, culturalelixir.com. That's where you can find more of our stuff that we write out every single day. And as always, that is going to do it for me. 20,000 subscribers. Let's get to it. Check out our other channel as well, if you haven't already, in the description down below, where we're talking about other films and all of that. So as always, I'll see all of you next time. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on the last voyage of the Demeter, if you enjoyed it or not. Stay tuned for our Gran Turismo review as well. 2 August movies that I think are starting August pretty good. August is usually a month where things start to get rough, but I think we're still good. We're still good. So anyways, as always, that's going to do it for me. I'll see all of you next time. Stay safe. Stay positive. But anyways, we are currently running our giveaway at 20,000 subscribers. All you have to do to enter that giveaway is make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Comment below your thoughts and opinions on the last voyage of the Demeter. If you haven't watched it, or if you don't plan to watch, or if you do plan to watch it, let us know. We definitely are excited to see what the future of the Universal Monsters is, and I believe this is a good step forward, especially with the ending of the movie, which we will be talking about tomorrow. But let us know what you think, and if you're excited for whatever Universal has next. And as always, that's going to do it for us. As always, stay safe, stay positive.